What is going on, everybody? This is just a little message at the start of this surprise episode, I suppose. I'm joined, as always, by Shaun. Shaun, how's it going?
Good to see you, lads.
Hello.
How you keep?
Good to see you. So we recorded a whole episode for Movie Mondays.
Real good episode.
Just the best. You would have really loved it. And of course, the old corruption that happens, the file got corrupted. So we completely lost the audio on it. And instead of actually just re-recording because we felt like our souls would leave our bodies, we just kind of left
jokes.
And so Monday we had no episode. So what we decided to do, as a bit of a apology, we're going to release a bit of a Patreon sneak peek for last month's review. Now, patrons, don't be alarmed, our new review is also after coming out. If you haven't seen it, The Maze Runner was this month's review.
One of Conor's favourite movies. I've never seen it before.
But this was one of your favourite movies, Shaun. This is the review that we did for Lindsay Lohan's Irish Wish, an absolutely incredible movie, and we hope you really enjoyed the review.
Yeah, it should tide you over until the next episode of the full show, which should be coming out next Monday, providing no more corruption issues. Please, God.
Please. Old man shouts at cloud. So enjoy the show. What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor Lawler. Welcome back to another month here on the Lazarus Pit, here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking one movie, as we do every single month. And as requested by you guys, it's been sent in. And I am joined, as always, by my best pal, Mr. Shaun Mead. You probably know him. Shaun, how's it going?
You all think you're real funny, don't you? You think it's a big laugh to give us what is essentially anti-Irish propaganda. There, I said it.
You know what's so funny about this is we've been having like a really just a conversation just about our lives, and the mic comes on and you immediately switch to just pure aggression.
I've bottled it up for far too long now, quite honestly.
It's been 24 hours. We've been sitting here with Irish Wish. Now, if you just spoilers, the movie we're reviewing for this month is Irish Wish. So if this is your first episode on the Patreon, the gist is every month we kind of let everyone pick whatever they want. So they can send it in to us on the Patreon, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, basically anywhere you want. They all get thrown into a hat and they get pulled out. Now, about 2 months ago, this movie came out. And what happened was, the minute it comes out, people start sending us stuff because you guys are fuckers.
Yeah, and you think just because we're Irish, we want to see any Irish related product, no matter the quality or care put into it. So
when this got pulled out, Shaun, I mean, Shaun tried everything to get out of it.
Yeah, I went through the 5 stages of grief.
He was like, can we not review the Wolverine?
You know, the trailer came out.
Made sense.
That was shut down real quick.
But you know what? I realised though, Shaun, that I had already seen this movie.
Yes, so I knew that had happened. You'd already seen it.
I had already seen the movie, so I was kind of coming from it. If I have to go through the horrors of Vietnam, I would like you to see it too.
I could have gone my entire life without seeing this.
Weirdly, I took on everyone else's mindset of geez, it'd be funny to make Shaun watch this.
No, I've been depressed. I've been on antidepressants. I've been through a lot. I have never wanted to kill myself more than when I was watching this movie.
This is a strong review.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Could be improved.
The chemistry's great.
So look, we don't need to promote anything. We don't need to do anything like that. All you guys know the gist.
Thank you for being
stage.
Here. Yeah, that's the general.
Everyone, thank you very much for supporting us. It's been a very busy time for the podcast. You probably noticed. It's been going pretty insane for the last few weeks. So scheduling issues in terms of Hero Zeros, me and Shaun doing two separately, which is strange.
We haven't fallen out. We just don't have time anymore.
We don't talk about comic book characters with each other anymore. I refuse.
Just rambling to ourselves into a microphone for a little while.
You wouldn't understand this DC character.
But we still do the main show, of course.
Well, obviously the main show. Also, let us know if you are liking the main show situation. We're up to episode 4 or 5 now. So I mean, we want you guys to let us know. You guys are the patrons. We want to listen to you. So if you prefer us to split it up and just put them out Mondays and Wednesdays and shorter episodes, we can do that, or we can continue on putting them in on the same episode on the Monday.
Yeah, exactly. You guys are, if we were a business, you guys would be investors or shareholders or some shit. So you do get a say in how all of this is kind of run. Also,
if you just wanted, put Weird News back to the way it was and then, a movie show every 6 months, that's cool too. Just let us know whatever random idea you have.
Yeah. There's no bad ideas. Only bad people.
No bad ideas. But Shaun, I think it's time to get into this movie. Obviously it's in the title, Irish Wish, starring Lindsay Lohan. It's a pretty big deal. Came out March 15, 2024.
Yeah.
I don't have any, revenue or anything like that due to the fact that it went straight to Netflix.
Yeah.
So we don't
hide
know.
all of that for some reason.
They hide all that stuff. So, Shaun, I think you've already kind of given us an idea of how you feel. But I'm very interested to know how you felt just as an Irish person watching this. Maybe how did it impact your insights?
It's tough to put into words, right? Because not only are they taking big swings with just Ireland and how people are in general, they're taking real big swings with Saint Bridget in this movie. Which is an odd fight to pick.
Shout out to Saint Bridget.
Yeah, Kildare's finest woman.
Got her own bank holiday this year. Fair play to her.
Fucking, you know what? It's long overdue.
You've long overdue to the gal.
Also, she was a pagan deity before the Catholic Church came in. Anyway.
I'm just going to introduce this review. I scoured IMDb and there's a lot of reviews on there. It's averaging maybe 5.2 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
And so I kind of did a bit more digging, and basically any review over 1 is an American person, and basically any review under 1 or under 2, I should say, is an Irish person. So it is 5.2 because Irish people have ranked it low, but American people have overwhelmingly given it maybe a 6, maybe a 7, maybe a 5. It's a lovely little rom-com showing lovely Ireland, and then all the Irish people are messaging, and I found my favourite comment from the reviews.
Please share.
So I feel like we should start the review with this, because I don't know if this is where you are, but it might be pretty close. So, this is from O'Connor CPG. He commented it 4 days after the release, and the headline is dreadful. If you find a copy of this movie, send it to someone you hate. Right? And then he said, Ireland should declare war on all those involved in this awfulness. We have a high security prison in Ireland, and all the writers, cast, crew, and anyone involved in making this movie and their family and friends should be incited as a punishment for this screen abomination. Stereotypical pig under the arm tween nonsense that would have turned the cinema in Ireland into a mass vomitorium had it been unleashed upon an unsuspecting Irish theatre. To see the nation of Wilde, Yeats, Beckett, Joyce grotesquely caricatured in this way by blow-ins is grim to see in the third decade of the 21st century. And then finally, once British military intelligence catch on to the existence of this movie, they'll be able to get all the information they need out of the Irish by forcing them to watch this movie in their torture chambers.
Jesus. Okay. That is some firm opinions that this person has.
6 out of 10.
I don't disagree. It's just, you don't give I'm not a very patriotic person. I don't think it's I don't think you die for a country, or you shouldn't have to. But this is just really insulting that this is what they think Ireland is.
Which is worse, this or Wild Mountain Thyme?
I was trying to come to terms with this in my head.
Yeah.
I think Wild Mountain Thyme is more tone deaf, and that movie doesn't know when it's set. This movie, at least, it's the modern day, but a small village with a very big house.
I got the impression, and I've watched it now twice.
Yeah. Only man in history to do that, I believe.
Even they didn't watch this twice. Shaun, my impression of this movie is that it was written by AI. I think somebody wrote down...
Yeah.
I think somebody put into AI or ChatGPT, create a movie set in Ireland starring Lindsay Lohan. It's a rom-com. And
Don't
then
cast any Irish people.
The dialogue just arrives out at that. The lack of Irish people in this movie is one of the weirdest, stupidest decisions I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah.
There's no Irish people in the film. It makes no sense.
The English fella, James, is that his name?
What? Yes.
Here's the question, right? And he does a good job, I think. He's probably the best actor in this.
I think he's the only one slightly acting like a human, yes.
Yes, and who's slightly likeable in any way. But why isn't he just an Irish lad?
It's genuinely...
Why,
the more I watched it, I was just like, why would you cast an English guy in the role of the guy who knows everything about Ireland?
Yeah.
And
he's
she's
like, I
there.
came over here a lot as a kid.
But what? Like, surely they could have cast anybody with an Irish accent to do the same role.
If you want to do like your traditional rom-com, but have it be an Irish theme, surely it makes more sense to have a lad from small town Ireland teach the big city gal how to live life properly. Like,
it's been done 1,000 times
slam
before.
dunk. Like,
it's a slam dunk. And also for Irish people, it doesn't make any sense because now we're like, well, he's not one of us either. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, he's got an English accent, so like when he's talking, I'm like, well, he doesn't really know the West of Ireland. Even at least if you had somebody with the Irish accent there, a real one, not a one of Begorra Bejesus, we could at least think, okay, well, one of us is involved in this. Jamie Dornan is in Wild Mountain Type. He's one of ours.
He's one of ours. He gets away with it a bit.
He gets away with it a bit. The English guy, I think, gets more hassle from us because it's like, that's the easiest casting decision I've ever seen done so wrong.
Yeah, like, I don't know the logic as to, like, because I get they want him to be a international photographer. You can be that and Irish.
Irish people are allowed on planes.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, yeah, we've come a long way. Like,
because it's in like a small town Ireland. Like, just do the random Irish guy who's a photographer rather than the English guy who came over here a lot.
Why is his main goal and main gig for the start of this movie is that he's photographing the sheep shearing festival? What's that like? He's a landscape photographer.
Why would you fly in an international photographer to shoot a sheepskin?
It makes no sense, and it's from his town where he grew up. But like,
it's not his town because he knows everyone. England.
Yeah,
but that's what I mean. It's the exact same character. You don't even have to change anything. Just replace him with any single... Walk out in Dublin and just pick a random lad.
Yeah.
And now you're done.
And if you want even more like character interest, you could have people from the small town kind of shun him a little bit because he's too big for his boots and he's a world traveller now. Like... Yes. What are we doing? Get an Irish person on the writing staff, please.
I don't think there was any... Well, that's why I think it was AI. I don't think there was any people, but I don't especially think there was any Irish people in the creation of the film in any way.
No, there's some extras and stuff who are just, I assume, regular Irish men and women just acting away. St. Bridget is, I think, an Irish woman.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why does St. Bridget look like she works at a spa?
It's not a bad question, Connor.
Look, it's a lovely outfit, but I guarantee there's definitely that outfit is been worn in spas with people who are like, oh, you have the half an hour segment, do you know? That's the massage and the nails. Okay, cool. That's very lovely.
And she's like, it's a very odd... she's way more like just a fairy or something in this. Like,
would you love fairies, obviously, but
I respect the fae, Connor.
He's afraid of fairies.
Shut up, all right?
They'll know.
They'll hear you.
But yeah, to be honest with you, Bridget, this is a prick.
Yeah, she's just fucking things up for everyone, really. Like, Okay, so if you haven't seen it and you're just living through us in terms of how this movie works,
do you want to go through the plot? Is this the one time in the review we can go through the plot?
We can probably go through. I'm thinking broad strokes, honestly, because most of it is uninteresting.
Right, so our main character that we all love and enjoy, Lindsay Lohan, right? Yeah. She's there and she's madly in love with this writer who she works with in New York.
She's his editor, and he's
Paul Kennedy.
Paul Kennedy.
You know Big Oraba Jays is Paul Kennedy,
Jesus
who's
Christ.
definitely not Irish.
No. And also she gets on a bus from the airport and the bus driver just like, here's the big Kennedy house there now. Go fuck yourself.
I said so many times, I was just like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I felt offended by this. Like, so Lindsay Lohan's there. She's the editor for the writer Paul Kennedy, right?
Yeah.
Paul Kennedy's meant to be this incredibly dashing Irish man who's not Irish and has a terrible Irish accent. He's a Welsh actor, and I assume he just has a Welsh accent, but trying to do the Irish accent, incredibly difficult. The only person I've ever seen do it is Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox in Kin, which is coming to Netflix, I believe.
Which is actually, I would definitely check that out for an act. And even his is perfect 98% of the time, but there's one or two sentences that he says with a slight twang that I'm like, he's not out. But I respect.
We're laser focused into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think if you're just watching it and you're like not from Ireland, you don't hear those accents all day, Charlie Cox's is the best that's ever been done fake.
I think so. I think on film that's high praise, but I think it's so good that people in Ireland don't know he's not Irish.
Yeah.
And that's because it's like one of those, like, you know, like when you see an android that's slightly human looking but not, your brain automatically recognises it. I think your brain is automatically recognised to the accent that you have.
And then but then at the party, Mr. Kennedy meets Lindsay Lohan's friend, and they fall in love and get engaged. Emma get engaged and get married. Decide to get married in Ireland over the course of 3 months.
Yeah, and so what happens is then they have to fly to Ireland because they have to fly back to his hometown to get married. And Lindsay Lohan's like, but I love Paul Kennedy. I should have told him I loved him. And now I think a bridesmaid at his wedding because my best friend is marrying him. Wow, I've really missed my opportunity.
I'm going to give this movie one thing that I think is good.
Oh no.
There's a line where Paul signs the book and leaves his phone number. Yeah. And Lindsay Lohan in the taxi with her friend goes, oh, it's just a phone number. It's not a marriage proposal. And then there's a series of very quick cuts of them getting to Ireland. I like that they just bypassed all of that and just like, here's the movie now.
I think they just wanted to get to Ireland and out of New York as fast as possible.
They had 12 hours of filming in New York, I'm assuming.
That's all they did. They had one street.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they come to Ireland and now you have the thing of, she's now at her best friend's wedding, but she's in love with the groom, and oh my God, and she's his editor and she should have told him. And she's just broken up because, like, the man that she's in love with is marrying her best friend and she just has to keep it under wraps.
Yeah.
Lindsay in this, I'll admit, in every scene, she talks as if she's in a rush to get to the next scene.
I think she is. I think she wants to finish this. She doesn't want to be there. And
I'm like, you know, like you're in the scene, but she's like, she's talking like this, and she's trying to get through the next line so she can get to the next scene.
Yeah,
and you're like, Lindsay, calm. It's grand.
Take a breath for a minute, like
you're Lindsay Lohan. You can chill out. It's fine.
There's a weird thing, right? But this is just, you would know this if you fucking did your research. The whole wedding thing takes place in Paul Kennedy's family's house, mansion thing.
This is at the end of the movie, you're saying?
Yeah. The ceremony is there and everything like that, but they have a Catholic priest. Catholic priests aren't able to do that. There has to be in a church. It can't be in someone's house. Or like,
yeah, but
holy
nobody on this crew has
yeah.
ever set foot in Ireland before the first day of filming.
Where was this filmed? Was this Westport or somewhere?
It was in Westport in Mayo, yeah.
Yeah, lovely spot, lovely place in the world.
Look, an absolutely gorgeous spot if you want to go there. I mean, the cinematography in this, I mean, you can't make it ugly, so they couldn't really miss because it's a very lovely spot.
And there's a shit ton of shots that are just for the Irish Tourism Board to get.
Although my favourite bit that I did laugh at was that they're in Westport and then heard the photographer take a little drive to the Cliffs of Moher.
And it feels like fucking 15 minutes down the road, like.
It's about 2 hours.
And then they drive back.
Just like nobody in Westport would be like, it's 10 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
We're all driving to the Cliffs of Moher. Like it's a fucking good. It's a good distance away.
Yeah, you're not doing it.
I would like you right now to look up Westport to the Cliffs of Moher just in terms of distance. It's definitely over an hour and something. Maybe they've created a motorway the whole way there.
Perhaps there's
Ireland.
There's a flyover over it now.
There's a flyover now. They fly there.
Westport to Cliffs of Moher. Yeah, you're going from Mayo to Clare. Like it's 2 hours 22 driving.
So in this movie they just get into the car in Paul Kennedy's house and like the next scene is them at the Cliffs of Moher. They're like, wow, that was a very short trip, but look, I'm glad we're here. Now let's take some photos.
It's fucking insane. Like
that's a 5-hour day of driving.
Yeah, and they leave in the morning, spend maybe 10 minutes at the cliffs, and then the mother of all fucking rainstorms comes out of nowhere, which is probably the most accurate thing in the world.
Which, to be fair, I actually understood that, yeah. But then a tree falls down.
Tree falls, but James just happens to know the perfect pub only down the road. And
also, a tree falls, and it's implied in this movie that there's only one road from Mayo to Clare, and vice versa.
Yeah, which that's not true.
We have more than one road here.
I don't think they do. I think the AI...
like anywhere else in the world, if like a tree falls down, they have this thing, and it's weird, they have a detour. They might, for example, maybe the police show up, they put a few signs down, until this road is cleared, you can't go down this way. But if you go back 5 to 10 minutes and maybe take a left, you can go around this road to where you're going.
They might be... they mightn't be the best roads in the world, but there's roads around the place.
There's definitely roads.
Like, there's also that part, because of the Cliffs of Moher, it's really you're very easy to access from all directions and angles. Yeah,
it's actually it's possibly the biggest tourist spot in all of Ireland. So you're saying there's only one road in and out of the biggest tourist spot in Ireland?
Yeah, as God intended.
Buses up and down, just nobody can pass each other.
Like I'm playing around with Google Maps here, and I've got 18 routes out of the fucking
just online, just 18.
Yeah.
We didn't even have to guess.
And look, if you're that badly stuck, go to Limerick for the night. You'd be grand.
Just go anywhere. There has to be a different road to somewhere, to anywhere. So look, that was the bit that made me laugh as well. I'm just like, we'll just take a day trip to the Cliffs of Moher, 2.5 hours away, and then 2.5 hours back after a 10-minute photography session.
Because the idea is that after the wedding, they're going to go to these places and take more wedding photos.
Yeah,
like, are you
after the wedding, 2.5 hours away, you're going to get in with your dress and drive 2.5 hours to there.
The tough sell, I'm going to be honest.
On your wedding day.
So where do we leave off after the...
it's important that we get through it all, right? So she gets Ireland, and she has a whole run-in with now an English guy. For some reason he's English, he could just be Irish. He's coming back from a long-haul international flight. Would have made way more sense.
Exactly, but he's like, this is my suitcase, and she's like, no, it's not. And he's like, it's very clearly mine. It has the little tag that I put on it. And she's like, no. And then she pulls the suitcase open, and all of his shit falls everywhere.
Nobody in this movie, by the way, has any chemistry at all.
No, like, your man who plays James does the best he can, and he at least is somewhat charming, but no one actually no one's in the same. Everyone's just reading things at each other in this movie.
Like nobody's in the same film at the same time. So they're all saying things that are written.
Yeah.
But like, I don't understand why Lindsay Lohan's character fancies that guy, because I suppose she does, because, you know, he's the only normal human in the whole place that she's talked to. But
I suppose.
At the same time, why does he like her?
They just have this instant fucking connection thing, I suppose. But, like, no one is... Also, Lindsay Lohan in this movie is very clearly, like, having a breakdown. Like, the character, like, because she wakes up after the wish and stuff. No one gives a shit that she's having...
Nobody cares.
...an insane time.
Like, she's like, what am I doing? What's going on? Why is Paul in my room? Oh my God. And everyone's like, oh, Maddie, you silly goose. You're getting married to Paul. Do you not understand?
Silly Billy?
You're a silly Billy.
Because they go out for a little walk with the family. Also, there's a true line that James hates Paul. He just fucking hates him for no reason.
He just fully hates him. Now, to be fair, Paul, and the guy who plays Paul... They are shit-eating, and I like it. I enjoy how much of a dick that he is. I obviously don't enjoy the fact that he's doing a weird diddly-dee Irish accent when he does it. But
we'll take what we can get.
But imagine that exact same role played by a shithouse Irish guy, because I think it works so much better if he's got like just a shit-eating grin of like, oh, I know this place.
Because, a smarmy Irish guy.
Like, we're just imagining this movie with like actual people from here to be like, well, if you're going to come here, why? It would be the equivalent of anyone in England or Ireland setting a movie, flying to America, and only casting Irish people doing American accents for no reason.
Yes, that's basically what has happened here. There's no reason there's nothing Irish about this.
Or Australia. So they set a movie in Australia and we fly there, but everyone there is English doing an Australian accent for no reason.
Yeah. What's the point? What's special
just hire
about this?
people from there.
Yeah. Bring Lindsay Lohan along, that's fine. But...
Yeah. Like, there should be characters who are English and Irish and American in the movie, but I would be of the opinion, if you're going to film 90% of the movie here, might actually cost you less. You wouldn't have to fly them here
Everyone's
due to the
here
fact that they
already.
live here.
Yeah. Some of the bartenders and stuff that they meet, I feel like they're just actual bartenders in the town.
Yeah, they're just like genuine. The one guy, he's actually Irish. That one bartender, because he's just like, Jesus, she wouldn't believe me if I told you, wouldn't you?
Is that the older man? What's his name?
Yeah.
He just calls him Murphy. Like,
always calls him Murphy. You know, because he's been here since he was a kid.
Yeah, because he knows him. He knows everybody. He's the most Irish man there is.
I also have written here, the music is a hate crime. That's very good.
Music bad.
The music is it's not great.
You like fiddles?
What?
Do you like fiddles?
Oh,
this is the soundtrack for you.
We're going to get to the scene in the pub soon, but Shaun, I have a question.
Go ahead.
There's got to be some sort of crime against having a movie based in Ireland, where a bunch of English people own a big massive mansion and then flaunt their wealth.
Look, they didn't come by it through honest means.
We're all looking left and right here.
Oh.
What are we saying here? I'm saying I felt bad.
Look. My ancestors definitely would have worked in that house back in the day.
Just some weird vibes, bro.
It's very uncomfortable. Like,
even the parents aren't Irish. It's Lindsay Lohan's mother, who is Jane Seymour.
Yeah,
she's doing an Irish accent, right?
Is she?
She's not doing her own accent.
No, she's doing an accent. She's
doing an accent.
Why?
That is.
What's her little bit about the? She's trying to buy toilet paper at the start and the keyboard is stuck. Why is that in the movie? It's
the implication that the kids in her school are coming into her computer and looking at porn on her computer in the principal's office.
Is that the implication?
I don't know. She said they were stuck together.
Oh, right. God, that didn't translate to me at all.
Look, I'm just making stuff up, but she was like, oh, they're sticky keyboards. And then Lindsay Lohan's like, oh, Mom, you can't tell me that. So I'm like, well, what's the reason then?
Yeah. What? Oh, that's... And they're taking the toilet. Okay, it's coming together. That's a very weird thing at the start of a rom-com.
Seems like a bold strategy, Cotton. Yeah. Let's see if it pays off.
I don't think it did, because I didn't laugh.
So they're all in Ireland, and they're all planning for the wedding, and Lindsay's there, and she's feeling a bit like... She's a bit like down on her luck, because obviously now her other best friend is getting with Paul's brother, who, I mean... Fair enough.
Yeah, seems like a lovely lad. You know,
seems like he's fine.
No, I won't hear a bad word said against whatever his name is.
He's my best friend. No, I think he's not the worst hate crime in the movie. That's what I'll give him. Okay,
that's all we can ask.
So he's there, and she's like, "Oh, I'm into him." And then her other friend Emma, now she's marrying Paul Kennedy, so that's why they're all there. So like, she's now stuck in the middle. She's a fifth wheel. So they all go on this romantic day out to Lake Tay, which you actually can't access. It's not open to the public. But they all go to Lake Tay, and they go on these lovely little boats. And at the same time, Lindsay Lohan goes off by herself, and she sits on a little bench, and she goes, God, I wish I was marrying Paul Kennedy. Golly gee, I wish I was marrying. And you see, she's made an Irish wish, because on that exact little bench, St. Bridget pops up in her little spa outfit from behind a tree.
Real St. Bridget appears in this movie.
Yeah, like, there's a saint here called St. Bridget, but they have given St. Bridget a human form. And she pops out and just starts having a chat with Lindsay Lohan and is like, you gotta make the wish proper. If you do make the wish proper, I'll make it happen. And so Lindsay Lohan wishes again that she was marrying Paul Kennedy, which, to be honest, for everything we've seen with Paul, seems like a fucking dick.
Seems awful. And also seems like everyone in the town knows the Kennedys. So why are you saying this, like, to some stranger? Because that's going to get back to him.
Yeah, exactly. So she wishes, and just so happens that St. Bridget is a saint, and she grants her wish, and she gets basically Freaky Friday or whatever. Just a bit of magic occurs. The wind picks up, the trees start billowing, the magic happens, and now everything is reset, and she is now marrying Paul in Ireland, and Paul is madly in love with her, and she wakes up in the bed, she goes into the shower, and Paul's in there, and he's like, hello honey, can you give me a towel? Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
She's all frazzled. She doesn't know what's going on.
She doesn't know what's going on, and she's like shocked. She has no clue.
Then
she's like, Emma's going to think I'm cheating on you.
She meets Emma, and then she's just like fully okay with taking this woman's life, essentially.
Yeah.
She goes along with this for a bit, real quick.
Immediately, she's like, this is what I wanted. The wish has come true. I'm as happy as I could ever be. However, she never actually tries to... I suppose... I have a question for you. If she had, in this wish, then taken advantage of that and, like, started, like, really kissing Paul, getting involved with Paul, is that a bit of... That's dodgy enough, like...
It's not great. It's not great.
Has he consented if it's a wish?
Yeah, how far back does St. Bridget start changing things is my question, because she doesn't, because apparently Lindsay Lohan proposed to Paul in this.
Yeah, that's how the story goes, is that she's so in love with him that she took him to a pub, and she was like, how can we take this to the next level? How can we become husband and wife? And he said, well, if we went to Ireland, we could. Or no, she said, how would we ever get to Ireland? And he said, well, if we ever got married, we could go to Ireland. And so she proposed to him, and that's why they're here. Wow, the romance is in the air. Fantastic.
And that's an absolutely lovely and fine thing to do. But St. Bridget made her do it, is all I'm saying.
Well, no, it's just, in my head, it makes Paul look like a dickhead as well, because he's like, well, I wouldn't marry you unless you fucking, the only time I'd ever go back to Ireland is if you married me, and that's a far enough away, because you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Like,
he doesn't come across great.
No, but he's not that appealing in this movie at all.
No, all he has, he's got some grey hair. I'll give that to the lad.
Good hair.
Right? Strong hair in the lad.
Strong jaw.
Strong jaw. Other than that, I mean, personality-wise, he's a wet mop of a man.
It's true. Yeah, he's just a bit of a sap. Like, he's a bit of a dope.
A bit of a dope. If in Ireland he'd be called a dope, but he wouldn't understand what that means.
Yeah.
So we'd have to really narrow it down for him. So she's now delighted with herself, and at the same time they're like, oh, we need a photographer for the wedding. And she's like, oh, I met this photographer on the bus, but that didn't actually happen anymore, so he doesn't know who she is. But she's like,
St. Bridget is still working her magic, so she's going to arrange that the sheep shearing festival gets cancelled, and then he's now free to do other jobs, and then Lindsay Lohan's going to run and fall into his car in a wedding dress.
You think he's making that up?
It's wild that St. Bridget in this as well is just working off wishes. Like,
just nothing else to do. I'll be honest with you, she comes across like the Irish equivalent of Loki.
A little bit, yeah.
She's the god of just mischief.
She's the god of blacksmiths and stuff. Like, she's got to cross people, Bridget. That's what she's about.
Did you like the bit where he goes into the bookstore, the English guy, and he's just like, oh, you get a free copy of Paul Kennedy's book, and he's like, oh, fuck that, I fucking hate Paul Kennedy.
Cunt. And spits in his face.
And he's like, you imagine, like, it's free, and he's like, oh, fuck that. And then secondly he's like, well, we have to throw in a little St. Bridget's cross into the bag.
just because, just in case.
Just in case. Have you ever gone into a bookstore and they've given you a free St. Bridget's cross?
No. They've given me a free nothing.
They'd take the cross off you. They'd find a homeless child and take the cross off them, so they would.
Did you have to make St. Bridget's crosses in school?
Yes. If people don't know what St. Bridget's crosses are, Shaun, what are they?
They're a Christian symbol. It's like a woven reeds, I guess you'd call them.
And people used to hang them up years ago.
Yeah, and like you would make them, and then you would make them like once a year usually, and then just keep them for a year, and it brings you good luck and good health and good God relationship. But it's like a handmade woven thing, and you like fold reeds over each other until it's the shape of like a square kind of cross. But we had to make them in school. It was like they just set up a little sweatshop once a year in February.
The teacher would be like, you get all the children in a line, you say you're not going to get paid, but I want 50 of these each by the end of the day.
And I think they might be sold sometimes.
I think they definitely sold them, but those kids never seen any of that profit. No. I'll tell you that.
I reckon I could make one right now if I had.
I don't think you could.
I don't think you somewhere. Could. Starting them is hard.
Well, yeah, but have they ever been given out for free in a bookshop? Is my question.
No, heavens no.
Also, why would they be giving them out? Like in Westport.
In what looks to be summer as well. It's not even Bridget's Day.
Yeah, it looks like the summer. I've actually stayed in the hotel in this movie.
Have you actually?
The Wyatt Hotel, the big yellow building that's in the back. I've stayed in that hotel in Westport before in my life.
Mad. Did you make any wishes or anything?
I didn't make any wishes, and nobody offered me any free books or any free St. Bridget crosses, so that's how I know it's not true.
It's very just contrived, the whole thing.
And I know there's more than one road out of Westport, which is very handy.
Interesting. And did you see the Kennedy house when you were there?
I didn't, but we walked to the Cliffs of Moher there. So
grand, nice little stroll after breakfast.
It was just 10 minutes down the road, like, you know what I mean? But then the road was closed, so we had to go back.
But there was a lovely pub on the way.
A lovely pub. Also, question, she goes out for breakfast in the Kennedy household. They ask her, they say, do you want an Irish pancake? Shaun, what's an Irish pancake?
Box tea. It's like potato-y, pancakey kind of thing.
Good stuff. I actually genuinely didn't know.
Oh no, it's an actual thing, but it feels like they threw that in for like to gain some credit. That Irish people would cheer when they hear box tea.
Because I think she says, oh, is that a pancake? And then he says, it's an Irish pancake. So now it's part of the culture, you know what I mean? Now they're very much they know who we are.
It's very much, it's like it's a grated potato thing, so it's like a hash brown but a pancake.
It would be the equivalent of going to Scotland and being like, do you want the fizzy drink? No, well, you can have an Iron Brew.
Yeah.
That's kind of like that vibe.
It's like, see, we did research.
We know what you guys like, you idiots.
Lap it up, why don't you?
You fucking little bitches. She then assaults Paul. Paul tries to get into bed with her, and she absolutely just fucking altogether just demolishes him. Elbow, knee, fucking straight up.
Fucking efficient.
Man's battered.
Fucking Lindsay Jason Bourne over here.
and I mean, Paul is just like, all this time, he just doesn't really react in any sort of. He's just like, oh, Jesus, that's terrible. Anyway, we'll go off the bed, so.
Yeah, like, he just brushes everything off. Like, and then he decides, because he got the shit kicked out of him, he's not going to go to look at the photo sites.
Yeah, he's sick of it now. So now they're going to the Cliffs of Moher with just Lindsay and James. Now, obviously it's a short enough drive, but it's in reality 5 hours. So they have to drive the 2.5 hours down to check it. And when they get there, Shaun, they take literally about 4 photos and then they drive back. But they drive up the one little road, which the question is, how do you get back down that road? Because do you just reverse the whole way down? Because you can't really do a 3-point turn, otherwise you go into the fucking Atlantic Ocean.
It's true. It's a tough one. That's the risk you take when you see a national landmark.
You gotta reverse into the Atlantic Ocean.
There's only one road.
Also, did you very much enjoy the dropping of James Joyce in this part of the movie?
Oh yeah, my favourite author, James Joyce. James Joyce is a tough fucking read, alright?
And then he says, wow, I didn't expect that from you. But he's also not Irish, so it doesn't make any sense.
What's his attachment to fucking Joyce like?
He has no emotional attachment to like James Joyce.
But he's apparently a big reader as well. He just doesn't like Paul. But everyone else loves
he hates Paul because his exact words are, well, there's lots of fish and chips in England, but it doesn't mean it's the best.
What does that mean? What?
Because later on in the movie, she says, well, you don't like fish and chips. He's like, no, I do like fish and chips. Yeah. So then I don't understand what the concept is.
It was just like, but he was just saying some things are good and some are bad, I guess. But like,
fish and chips is great.
Fish and chips is great. I've never had. Well, you can get one with the batter might be too thick or something like that. But
yeah, but like, you're not going to say, "Oh, this is terrible."
No, most fish and chips is at least a 6 out of 10. But
like this movie,
of course.
But I suppose the question then becomes, what does he mean? Because it's just a sentence written by ChatGPT that doesn't really. Doesn't really understand what he's saying.
And it also just serves the purpose of reminding us, like, oh, he's English, like, he's...
Yeah. Just like...
Just in case we didn't know.
Which is fine. Once again, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, look.
We're sorry... We're sorry that you are English. That's not our fault, right? I'm sorry about that, but it's fine, right? We'll accept you no matter what.
We have no beef. We've quashed that beef.
Well, no, we do have some beef, but not with you specifically.
Of course. There's still beef there, but not with you. You're okay.
Not with you specifically.
You didn't do this stuff.
But you know someone who did, and that's the issue.
We just need you to know that.
There's also recently, did you see Charlie XCX? Did you see the bit of on Lip Sync Battle or Lip Sync Challenge or whatever that thing is? Yeah, and it did Bewitched, which has gone down incredibly terrible here in Ireland.
Yeah, because it sang a song by an Irish pop group, surrounded by Union Jacks.
Oh, not good. Someone then found one of her tweets from like 3 years ago, and she put out the tweet, the start of my UK tour starts tonight. I'm starting in Dublin.
Ooh, who did that recently? Noah Khan. He put out, I'm starting my tour in Dublin, UK. It's like,
oh no, what are you doing? Just write UK and Irish tour starting in Dublin. You're grand.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. Just acknowledge it's a different country. This is the kind of thing we have grudges about.
Yeah, but to be fair, there was 800 years where we really wanted them to say
we went through
Ireland.
a lot to get that.
Yeah. Like, so when someone's like, "Oh, we're in the UK, Ireland," I'm like, every Irish person, there's something on their back of their neck.
Yeah, it just riles you up a little bit.
It's just something inside us all. Yeah. We're just like, your eyes like squint. Like, to do that squinty thing, like, sorry, what did you say?
Say that again?
Could you just repeat that? Didn't Hayley Williams got booed at the Paramore gig last year?
But everyone was so ready for her. Because she was saying something like, "Oh, the last time I was in the UK," and then everyone just booed immediately. And she was like, "Let me finish."
But that'll tell you, Hayley Williams at a Paramore concert got booed.
Yeah,
because nobody's safe.
Like, I was at Green Day 2 years ago. And impromptu, the crowd started a "Fuck the Queen" chant.
Scotland know what we're talking about here. You know what I mean? They get
They're on board.
It's fine. But yeah, so she name drops James Joyce because she loves James Joyce, which is, I mean, it's fine, but it's a random pick. And so she's like, "I love James Joyce," and he's like, "I didn't expect that from you. I thought you were a fucking moron, but now I think you're less of a moron.
Now I'm in love with you."
So then they have to drive back 2.5 hours, and I assume about an hour and a half into the drive they meet a tree that's fallen on the road. Now obviously there's only about 6 roads in Ireland.
They meet a tree.
They meet a tree. You know what I mean? They meet a tree. The tree says, "Fuck off back the way you came," right?
Yeah.
So they meet the tree and they say, "Well, look, there's no other way around it. Now we may drive back to Cork because this road only goes from Cork to Belfast and there's no other road.
There's no turns. It's a straight line.
No turns. It's straight through Westport and we turn off and we get to Belfast eventually." So they're like, "We'll stop off at a pub." And so they stop in the pub and they have this really romantic thing where they fall in love. Shaun, what did you think of this scene?
God, what are we doing? Can we not go beyond it? Did it have to be the fucking third floor of the Titanic? Like...
Did you like the bit where she goes into a pub and your man goes, "Oh, Jez, do you want any stouts? Do you? Haha, Jez, no, I'll be garbage, Jez." And she says, "I'd like some white wine." And he says, "You'd be arrested for treason around here for saying that." As if Irish people don't like all kinds of alcohol.
Oh, I've never met an alcohol that hasn't done the job. Like, a white wine in a pub is not a weird order.
Do you think everyone in Ireland buys Guinness?
Just drink.
Is that...
Legally, I'm fairly sure they couldn't even say Guinness in this. They had to say stout.
Yeah, they have to because they don't legally have the rights to the name Guinness.
No, which is mad. Like,
so it's that was actually the most offensive line because I was like, come for anything else. Have the English people coming in and doing Irish accents. Have American people doing it. But how dare you imply that a country full of alcoholics, if someone came into a pub and said, "Can I have a white wine?" and go, "Jeez, you're not allowed that. You're only allowed Guinness."
They have about 2 sips and then they're off fucking dancing and playing darts.
A whole on Cayley band comes in.
Like, in the middle of quite a bad storm where, like, trees are falling down and things. Now, that's pretty accurate, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, well, to be fair, it's raining outside. It's not raining in the pub.
It's true. It's dry in the pub. It is dry in the pub. If anyone ever comes to Ireland, pray that a fire alarm goes off when you're in a pub, because it's the best atmosphere. Because it's just a load of people looking around saying, "That's probably alright." Yeah,
the Tommy Tiernan thing of he said he went to an English pub and the fire alarm went off and everyone got up and left and he couldn't understand why they were doing that.
What are we doing, like?
Because in Ireland the fire alarm goes off and he was just like, well, everyone stops and you look around, and if you can't see the fire, then you're grand for another round.
If no one else is running, more. Stay where you are.
Until you feel the heat on your arms and legs, then you're like, oh, well, fuck off. We get one more in. We'll get out here.
We have time. Don't worry about it.
We have time. It's only burning up outside. So we're grand at the minute. So they have the full-on, he teaches her to play darts. She learns about his life. Like, why you like this, man?
Yeah, you're so hard to figure out.
I love this place. You're just a jigsaw piece. I don't know where you put you. And he's just like, I love this place. Oh man, I love Ireland so much. Oh God, I've come here since I was young. Just,
right.
I mean, right, okay.
Why were you coming here though?
Yeah. Why? Who's your parents? Are they from here?
Wouldn't it make more sense that it would make more sense if that character was Irish? Genuine, like,
well, obviously, yes.
Yeah, like I don't know why, because they didn't cast based on his chemistry with Lindsay Lohan.
No, they look. He's a good actor, he's also. Looking at him, I'm like, oh, he's a good lead for a rom-com. He's the guy that you could fall in love with. That's fine. He's got the hair. He looks grand, right? But simultaneously, you could just cast him in a different movie, not set in Westport.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other Netflix projects that
Rom-coms.
he could fucking be in. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to make a couple more of them.
She can go to London next, and he can be in that one.
Yeah, that's fine. What's his name? He's an actual actor. Alexander Vlahos, is that him?
No, that's Paul Kennedy.
Is that Paul Kennedy? It is.
That's Paul Kennedy, yeah.
Jeez, who am I looking for? So, Ed Spielers.
Ed Spielers. He's the best actor in the movie.
Yeah,
but he's just miscast.
Yeah. He's the best actor in a movie he shouldn't be in.
Yeah, which really implies what are the rest of the people doing?
That fucking... Not even their best, I don't think.
So then they finally get out of that pub. They eventually get back to Paul's house. Paul doesn't give a fuck that she's been out all night with this lad. Went to the Cliffs of Moher yesterday and she hasn't come back until about lunchtime today.
No phone call, no nothing. Like, and then it's the rehearsal dinner, is it? Or?
It's the rehearsal dinner at that point. And no, they have the rehearsal in the church and Emma steps in, which is just funny. But then you have the rehearsal party and they're all sitting around and they're all like, oh, I proposed to Paul because I'm so in love with him, he's so amazing. And everyone's having a great time. And then you have her mother, by the way, in America. There's a whole subplot where her mother trying to make it to Ireland before the wedding. And I'm not going to beat around the bush. Bridget assaults that woman. Sid Bridget fucks that woman up completely.
She breaks bones in that woman's body. Like,
I just have written here, say Bridget baits the shite out of her mother.
She does. And is the implication here that if the mother gets to Ireland, she's going to talk Lindsay Lohan into marrying?
I think the implication is, that if she gets there, it'll all change. But she needs a situation where the mother never arrives, and then Lindsay needs to come to the conclusion by herself that she doesn't actually like Paul Kennedy because of all of, the personality and everything he's done and everything he's ever said. Yeah,
and the fact that he's in love with Emma as well. Like, they have a whole... Yeah, they have a whole thing where they're just fucking, falling for each other.
My favourite part of the whole movie, though, and the one thing I will give a credit for, and I just love the shithousery from Paul, because at this point I've kind of already accepted it's a terrible accent, so I'm like, okay, let's just see what he says. And the bit when he's like, I sent you an email with your vows, and she's like, you wrote my vows, and he was like, well, I am the author. So I mean, I feel
they hadn't made Paul enough of a dickhead at that point, so they had to really lean into it.
I think that line works really well in a better movie. I think that's such a funny line to be like, well, I am the author, so I sent you your vows for me, obviously.
Yeah, I'm the best writer there is.
I'm the best writer there is. And then he was like, even better, he was like, you can tinker around with it a little bit, you're the editor, you just have a little, but I've sent you the majority of it.
Yeah. And she's been writing. I think there's a thing that he read, James reads the book and is like, it's better than all of his other books, and that's because you basically rewrote it.
Which implies that James had read all of his other books.
Yeah, and still hates him.
Big fan, but still hates them. Well, to be fair, James knows the era, he knows the Kennedys. He just doesn't like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. But the Kennedys don't really know him. For a lad that's been around,
no.
like.
Well, he's been there since he was a child, but like, I mean, they don't know anyone.
Much. Yeah.
They don't interact with the peasants that often.
Of course,
the help. So then they have eventually her and James meet up, and he's like, "You shouldn't be with him. You should be with me, you bastard.
Married for love.
You get married for love, even though we met yesterday, and we went on one drive to the Cliffs of Moher, and so then
one short 15-minute drive."
One incredibly long drive. And so then eventually she's like, no, I gotta still marry Paul. And then I think she eventually on the wedding day comes, and she comes to the conclusion that she doesn't love Paul and she doesn't want to marry him. And she says to Bridget, she's like, Bridget, I want to take back the wish. I don't want to marry Paul at all. And Bridget's like, well, I knew you were going to do that, huh? Jesus, I knew that. I bait the shite out of your mother just to let you know yesterday.
Because she talks, Lindsay Lohan talks to the priest and is like, I made a wish to St. Bridget. And the priest talks like he fucking chats to her every day. Oh, you'd want to watch out for her.
Well, because everyone in this movie is an idiot.
Yeah. And he's like, what is it? She doesn't give you what you wish for, she gives you what you need, or something like that?
Yeah, she might not necessarily give you what you wished for, but she will give you what you need. So the implication is that even with the wish, she was always meant to end up with this random photographer who's just so happens to be in Westport shooting a sheep shearing contest, and she's at the wedding of Paul Kennedy, which doesn't really make much sense, because how would they have met?
Yeah, like, because in that timeline she was always going to make the wish, so like it's this weird loop where she has to make the wish to realise the person that she accidentally met is the person she's meant to be. I
love the idea this movie goes full into time travel and like starts doing the full circle.
You want a rom-com with time travel elements? Go watch About Time. It's fantastic.
It is so funny that this movie and About Time both have time travel.
Yeah, there's now two, and one of them's real good, and the other one is this.
And the other one is About Time.
Oh.
Take that, Donald Gleeson, who definitely should be the love interest in this movie.
Oh my God. How is he not? Brendan could be his dad. It'll be unreal.
You just bring the Gleesons in and we'd all accept it immediately.
Oh, it would be the best movie in Ireland. Genuinely, if the Gleesons were in it.
You know how much more leeway you'd get if you brought the whole Gleeson family in and got them to play everyone in the movie? You'd kill it.
Yeah, and like, you can afford Gleesons, surely.
You got Netflix money.
Yeah, just cut out that bit in New York at the start and you'd be fine.
So she takes back her wish, and then she's at the wedding, and now it's Paul and Emma are getting married, and she's like, oh, I'm madly in love with James. And at the wedding, did you see the Guinness that she gets served?
I did. It's not great.
It's poor boys. About 1/3 of it is the fucking head, which is fair play.
They need a flake in it, like, and it'll be alright.
It's atrocious. And she's like, wow. And then I think her friend is like, do you have a taste for that now, do you? And she's like, well, yes, because I'm full Irish with my English boyfriend.
I've changed over the last day.
That 10-minute drive to the Cliffs of Moher really changed me. And so then she has the big moment where she runs after James and she's like, oh, I'm in love with you. And he's like, I don't know who the fuck you are.
Yeah. But a weird woman told me to fucking hang around for a bit.
Yeah, they're sitting on a bench in that Westport Square with the Wyatt Hotel right behind them.
Lovely spot.
I've been there myself, lovely bench. But just to think Lindsay Lohan's been sitting on that bench. Oh my God.
What a wonderful world.
What a wonderful world. So they have the moment where he's like, well, yeah, strange woman in a spa outfit. I think she worked for the local spa. I think, maybe. I don't know what she was. She was offering me a Thai massage.
You're talking about like the robe thing that she's wearing. Like, yeah. Not like fucking
look it up
cucumbers
right
on her
now
eyes.
and tell me that woman isn't dressed like she works in a spa.
No, she is. I'm not denying it. St. Bridget. What's this movie called?
Irish Wish.
They clearly didn't leave much of an impact. Like, it's very cheap looking, the whole thing. Fucking first result, is St. Bridget real?
Yes, she is. We're here to confirm she absolutely is. And so they meet up at the end and they're like, oh, we're madly in love now, we're going to get together. And remember, in this timeline, he doesn't know who the fuck she is.
Yeah, but
she
knows all this information about him.
Yeah, and so then the movie ends with them possibly, and him saying, oh, I'm going to stay in Ireland for a little bit, and her said, I'm going to stay in Ireland for as long as it takes, which kind of sounds creepy, seeing as though he doesn't know who she is.
Yeah, and also they don't have a place to stay. And
then he says she's writing a book, and he says, what are you writing the book on? And she says, I'm writing the book on the cliffs of Moher. So...
and he was like, fuck, that's ages away.
Fuck, we couldn't drive there from here.
We don't have time for going there.
What kind of book can you write on the cliffs of Moher? Like, there's...
a history of the cliffs.
How you could do a 3-point turn on the cliffs?
Yeah, you could have someone accidentally fall off the cliff, and the entire book is their last moments as they're falling, and it plays through their whole life.
100% the book has already been written where somebody's been murdered by being pushed off the cliffs of Moher, surely.
Oh, I hope so. If not,
at least 10 times. 10 times over, I would say. It's definitely like one of those murder mystery books.
Have you ever seen people sitting on the edge of the cliffs?
They're lunatics. They're psychopaths.
I would die immediately of shock.
Yes. Well, I know for a fact that you would definitely die, but also I would be like, no, I'm going to die as well. Yeah. Like, I'm standing at least 55 yards back. I just be like, oh yeah, it looks nice from back here.
From a distance, yeah, perfect.
It looks lovely.
I've cheated death enough times to not push it.
Yeah. Your numbers are getting low. They're getting real low, my friend.
Only a few of those lives left.
And then I just have, mercifully, it's over.
It is
so
over.
Shaun, that brings an end to the greatest movie we've ever seen. I have scripts written by AI, no chemistry. Is the first take in this movie the only take in every scene?
I genuinely think so. There's some weird line deliveries and everyone just goes with it. I think this is worse than Wild Mountain Thyme, because Wild Mountain Thyme is at least shockingly bad.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just nothing.
This is a rom-com that is neither romantic or funny.
Yes. It fails its own genre. This is a tax write-off.
Like, if there was a thriller that didn't have any stressful moments, you'd be like, oh, jeez, that wasn't great. Or a murder mystery with nobody died.
Yeah. You'd be like, oh, I feel like something's missing from this piece.
I think we're missing some here. There's a rom-com where nobody says anything funny or romantic, and you don't like anybody.
And yeah, and no one it also ends that they're just talking at the end. It's not like they're madly in love. They don't
have the big romantic kiss or anything. They literally just talk, and she introduces herself to him, and he's like, aren't you the random lady from the bus? And she's like, yeah. And then she says really weirdly, remember, if you didn't know anybody, you'd met them once on a bus and they tried to take your luggage, and she went, I'm staying in Ireland for as long as it takes, and stares directly at him.
Yeah. After he's just been visited by a saint. You get
some really good serial killer vibes off her, is what I'm saying.
I think you can cut this movie as a way more sinister thing. I think it'd be kind of funny.
She drives him to the cliffs of Moher to kill him.
Yeah. I wonder how this did in US.
Really well, I assume, because actually that leads me on to my one final point, is the costumes in this are incredibly offensive, because everybody super stylish, super fashionable in America, but as soon as their fucking feet hit this island, suddenly everyone's wearing tartan and has to dress like they're fucking wearing rainbows all the time and look ridiculous. They look like they're in the 1960s for no reason.
People in Ireland have regular clothes. We get a lot of our clothes from you guys.
From From like, you know, the stores that are in America. There's some here.
We have H&M. Like, I'm nearly sure there's one in Westport.
There's got to be. Like, think of most stores. They're probably here as well as, you know, everywhere else in the world. Maybe a Zara, maybe a River Island, maybe just... And just most stores. Nike, they've started selling products here, at least 40 to 50 years ago. You can get some brands here. Yeah, like, it's this weird thing that they want people to think Ireland is, it's a simpler way of living and it's a simpler time. They do things traditionally. Well, everyone has to play music at a pub. Yeah. There's somebody playing a fiddle. Which, like, and there's places like that, but it's not every one of them. A lot of them, you go there because you're like, we want to go to the fiddle bar. Yeah, you're seeking it out actively. You don't just rock up. 7 of the 10 bars you look at won't have a fiddle in them. They will just have drink. Yeah, but they will have €17 gin and tonics. And you will be arrested if you order a wine in a bar in Ireland. It's mad that they nailed that aspect, isn't it? They really nailed. Like, you cannot order anything to this in Guinness. If you do, you will be stabbed. Even an old man bar has craft beer on tap now. Actually, the wines you get in the pub, they're fucking dangerous. Those little bottles, they go through. They wipe you out, lad. Yeah. 2, 3 of those. They're dangerously small, but they'd fucking go through you. Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're doing a lot, you know. Do you know what my new thing with wine is white wine with a bit of 7-Up in it. Is that nice? It's nice, refreshing. I suppose anything with 7-Up in it is immediately improved. This is the thing, but like, you're sitting out in the sun having a few of those. It's nice. With the boys, with the crew. A few wines with the boys. With the lads. So Shaun, I mean, I think that brings our review to an end. I think a complete hate crime of a film. Yeah. I'm possibly one of the worst things. Is it the worst thing that we've ever seen? Yes. And I've seen several live leak videos in my time. I suppose I'm trying to think of a worse movie. See, there's been movies that are worse, but there aren't as movies that I've been more offended by. Maybe Wild Mountain Thyme, but even that had, like, I think that was funny. Yeah, it was funny enough, but this one just made me mad. That had, like, Christopher Walken trying to do an Irish accent, and I like, and Emily Blunt, who are very famous good actors doing terrible Irish accents. That's kind of funny. Yeah, whereas this has just people we don't like just doing bad accents or no. I suppose the implication is if you're going to hire, like for the Wild Mountain Thyme, they got Walken and Blunt, so they're like, well, we can't cast anyone else because they're very big names. They will sell the movie. But in this movie, and no offence to the people in the movie, but the people in it, they're not Walken and Blunt, so you could just hire people who are Irish that nobody knows. Get a Gleeson. Gleeson would have sold this movie. If Gleeson's in this, if Gleeson played the photographer in this, it's an 8 out of 10. You're cashing in money, like it's easy money, all the way to the money bank, lads. I don't know at all. I mean, the costumes are terrible, the music is offensive, every accent is terrible, dialogue is clunky. Lindsay's in a rush. Yeah, Lindsay's in a rush all the time. Lindsay does not want to be on set anymore. Neither does anyone else, I don't think. I do think the guy who plays Paul Kennedy, he's tried his best. He shouldn't be in that role. Everyone is miscast, but they're giving it their best effort. Yeah, but it's not enough to save a bad AI-generated movie, presumably. Whereas, like, if you cast someone properly, they can kind of save a badly made movie. Yeah, you can watch a bad movie with a good actor in it and just take joy out of that. Yeah. I mean, how many Weetabix are we giving this? Honestly, none. And the milk's gone off, and there's ants in the sugar. I think the British took the bowl. Yeah. I'm giving this an 1845 Great Hunger. I'm giving it a 1916 Easter Rising. Yeah. I will never recover. You don't know what we're talking about. Really? It's fine. You don't need to. Just watch this movie. You'll know all you need to know about Ireland. Just watch and you'll understand the hatred Why Charlie XCX is getting 8.
Yeah. And watch Kin. Kin's quite good, okay?
Kin is amazing. Everyone watch Kin. And watch About Time. Those things are good.
Watch good movies and shows.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
We're going to watch a good movie because next month, Shaun, is my birthday month.
Oh,
so that means
God.
I get to choose.
And then the month after is my birthday month, so I get to choose.
You get to choose. So we got 2 good ones in a row.
Yeah. Okay, that's going to keep me going.
So everyone huddle in. You can all go fuck yourselves. Because we're choosing from now.
We're going to have a fucking good time, alright?
Until July, we're flying.
And then, July will come around though.
We're back to being dogs, which look into. So that's it for this month's movie review, I think, Shaun.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a fun chat about a bad movie. Thank you to everyone. Thanks for suggesting it. Thanks for everyone who suggests anything.
Don't thank them. Don't thank them.
God, I got it. It's part of the gig. They all go into a hat, so do put in any more recommendations that you do have. Any questions or anything else you want to see on the Patreon, put that in as well, please. And other than that, just have a nice day.
Very good. Okay. So I've been Conor and Lorraine.
I've been Shaun Min.
I shall see you all next month, guys.
Bye.